Think of the first game and a half, and then what kind of click to maybe let the bats explode there?
Yeah, I think today's day was a complete 180 mentality-wise from yesterday. So I thought the guys came today with much more focus, just a greater mentality overall, and it carried over into getting the lead, hitting first, but then also kind of having the calm about you need when you get punched back, and then delivering that final blow in the first game. And you think, you know, maybe that relaxes your hitters a little bit, but I still think some guys were, you know, feeling for things a little bit. Their pitchers were also doing a good job. I mean, Dickey did come out in the first inning and hit a homer, but I don't have the exact answer on why guys really relaxed and started taking their best swings. And, you know, obviously the home runs kind of make it look like that, but also there's some guys you could see themselves thinking their way through some swings. And then finally to see Cortland and Luke and just cut it loose and be the athletes they are, it was refreshing.
Coach, Evan said he might not have seen this coming from Jared to start the season. Did you?
You know, I think he's performing at a pretty good level, but I thought he could help us in a lot of different positions. He's turned himself into a guy you would have to pinch run for, into a guy who you could use as a pinch runner. So, you know, defensively, base running wise, attitude wise, teammate, he's not doing anything to surprise us. Did know every at-bat, he'll give you everything he's got. But I think he's been able to perform in some key moments that you didn't know whether he'd even have those opportunities, because maybe it's a different guy. We got a lot of depth. So I think the one thing that is a little bit of a pleasant surprise is he's being put in a position where it's a key moment in the game, and he's done very well.
What makes Will such an effective person to turn to in a jam?
Just for me, we've kind of expressed that to him. It kind of fits his niche there. I mean, he's a guy who's got good stuff. He's pretty fearless. If anything, to a fault, sometimes he gets a little too juiced up. But he's one of our jam guys, if not the main one. I mean, him and Cam, I guess, if you're going to talk right-left. And then he kind of had it going a little bit tonight. And I know all these guys, they want the ball more often than you get it. Obviously, right now with Ben Joyce, we're trying not to wear him out, but yet get him repetitions. So he'd love to stay out there and get himself out of that, or stay out there longer against OU when we brought him on Sunday. But we're trying to play the long game here, and I think that's Will's role, is to have a bunch of short outings for us. But I think he showed, kind of like Camden Sewell has, he can give us long relief, maybe a spot start, pick up a starter if something crazy happens early. But the kid's a hard worker. He's matured a lot, and it's nice to see him have a good performance like he did tonight.
Christian Moore's been on a tear lately. What have you seen from the freshman that he's improved on since he's been on campus?
I think just the way he goes about his business. All the things that go under the category of teammate. And Will Mabry and Jared Dickey, when they first got here, were not experts in that area either, but they've come close to being one. Just how you go about your routines, how you handle different situations. And obviously, if you look at the guy, I mean, he looks like he can play for Coach Heupel. And he also came in as a guy who was going to have to turn down money in the draft. So he's got a skill set, but this is a different level. And it doesn't mean as a freshman you can't have success, but you got to grow up fast. And I think he and some of the others are doing that. Obviously, room to grow, but that's kind of where he's at now.
Tony, what are your expectations for Cortland Lawson offensively? I know that everyone knows he's got the glove, but you know that bat. What did you expect from him this year?
I think he's capable of driving the ball, and he's a good athlete. Really, he went out this summer and had a lot of competitive at-bats. He hit the ball fairly well, and he drove the ball at times too. And where he went and played in Hays, Kansas, I mean, you find out whether you can play baseball or not, and if you love to play baseball. And he didn't know this, but it was kind of a little test, and he passed the test. So I like him in that 9 spot like Pav was last year. I'm no Tony La Russa, although I grew up in St. Louis. I think there's a lot to be said for your guys at the bottom setting the table for the guys at the top, if that's what is called for. But, you know, also not giving any pitchers any breaks on the other team. So I don't know where our hitters rank best to last. It probably depends on the day. I mean, Jordan Beck was the best hitter at Minute Maid, and other than one line shot here the last 2 days, he wasn't very good. So Cortland is just as capable with the bat as he is with the glove.
What did you see out of Kirby yesterday that maybe got him into some trouble?
You know, strikes were at a premium in that game. So all of a sudden, you know, my mind flips to let's make sure we use this guy. And Camden got us out of a jam, which is his role. Kirby's done very well with pitching with a lead, but I don't know. I think Kirby was a little bit of the situation that Cam was against Texas. We bring him back only after a couple days of a pretty long outing, and not quite as much snap to him, but also he throws up a 0 and then, you know, is on his way to doing another if we make the first play. We did. That first game was very frustrating. Our guys played with some heart and played with talent, but we didn't play with our heads, and a few other things were missing too. So we made so many defensive mistakes and yet got away with it that first game. So that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. Unfortunately, Kirby was victimized by that a little bit, but also didn't throw as well as he's capable of.
I know every situation's different, but do you have a rule of thumb you like to go by in terms of how long in between outings for guys?
Not really. You know, again, we're usually conservative, probably more than anybody in our league, or at least tied with early in the year. And then as we get deep in the year, I'd like to think, you know, we're fairly aggressive. And that way it's not going to be whether or not a guy's tired. And guys like Wyatt Evans can't ever say, well, you didn't give me an opportunity. I mean, we're going to get guys out there and help keep others fresh and yet give them an opportunity. And that all kind of stems from being a recruiting coordinator and a pitching coach at the same time. When I first started out, it helps to be able to tell kids, you come here and you throw strikes, you're going to get the ball. But eventually it's how well or how good of strikes you throw will be determined on how you get out there. And Kirby's a guy that's going to get out there a lot.
Do you have any timeline on when Charlie Taylor could be back?
You know, he's going to try and catch a bullpen tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be with hitters swinging. We were hoping for Friday. That might be pushing it a little bit. And again, Jared's fully capable back there, but it kind of turns it into a three-headed deal there where, again, you can manage reps, keep all three of those guys fresh. And Chuck is such a good teammate. The guys love seeing him out there, and he's, you know, capable with the bat, but his real strength is defensive.
Jarrell got a little banged up today. Is he all right?
You know, I don't know. He went back to the training room. I had about 5 people ask me because everyone loves him so much. He's just a lovable kid, but it was a clean or flush legal slide, but caught him flush on the ankle, and he had to go back in the training room, so I'm not sure where that'll leave him. But, you know, with the other guys we have capable in the dugout this early in the year, you don't really want to have a guy out there limping around, and I'm sure guys were frustrated. He's, you know, took a half swing there. I got to be honest, I was hoping for a Kirk Gibson effort, and if it didn't go over the fence, we were going to pinch run for him immediately. But hopefully he's back soon because he plays with a lot of passion that I think bleeds into his teammates' play too.
Same thing with Drew, just being careful.
Yeah, the time of the year, and you know, Drew's a big ball of muscle, or a little ball of muscle height-wise, depending on how you look at it. But he's coming along slowly. It was better than we thought it would be when we got back from Minute Maid, but you know, even if we're in the middle of conference, it would call for being cautious for a little bit. Let it get to where it is, because otherwise, with hamstrings, a lot of times it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
How hard have these guys made your life finding a lineup card every day?
Today hard. I mean, yesterday was a little bit of you know, we wanted to take all of them out. I mean, yesterday wasn't good, and this team, if they're at full strength, is going to wreak havoc on some people. James Madison's very good, very well coached. I told our guys that. We were fortunate to win 2 last time we split with them when they came here. It's good they pushed us, and it's also good that our guys had to come back from Houston. We got back really late on Sunday night, and our guys played with energy. They were in it in BP yesterday and physically had the bounce to them, but this looked slow to me. And there's going to be times where you're going to have to overcome being a little tired or not eating the right way or going to class when it's not ideal for you, and you still got to be ready to hook it up. And I don't know that we were able to do that at the standard that we were looking for yesterday. But fortunately, we were able to kind of pick up where we left off or restart the game today. And today was a winning day for the Vols.
Is there anything in particular you're looking to learn or do this weekend?
You know, kind of like we did today. When you play a doubleheader, you got to manage the thing a little bit. And I'm just kind of talking to you, not necessarily the team, but you show up, you play game 1, and game 2 will come when it comes, but it comes quick. You got 35, 45 minutes to, you know, turn the thing around and get started. So Augie Garrido's name's behind us, and I'm a big fan of his. His career was legendary. I remember we went down there once and beat them on the first game of a doubleheader, and we were supposed to start at a certain time, but he kept him in the locker room. We basically started whenever Augie wanted us to start, which was about an hour after the first game instead of about 30 minutes. But it's a fond memory I got, and they kicked our butt that game. But, you know, it's a quick turnaround, so you got to manage your emotions. In junior college, you play a lot of doubleheaders, and sometimes the first game dictates who wins the second game because of those emotions. So it'll be good for us to get a true doubleheader in because, you know, with the weather in the Southeast Conference play, we'll probably play a doubleheader. And I'm a big believer in doing something once. You probably should be able to do it a little better the next go around.
Thanks, Coach.